Yes, sir. You are live. Okay. Yeah, Nitin, sir, you can start.
So at 10 we will start.
Okay, fine. You can share the flyer right now. Yeah. And I am making you the host. Thereafter, you can start.
Live, live. Okay, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Ma'am, I think participants will join. We will start. I think number is increasing.
Yes.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Myself, Dr. Nitin Ubale. Uh, I'm working as associate professor in horticulture at College of Agriculture, Parv University, Vadodara. We have organized this workshop in order to aware the participants, students, faculties, and other stakeholders in order to get them acquainted with the IPR. So this workshop is organized with the help of in collaboration with the Rajiv Gandhi National Institute of Intellectual Property Management, Nagpur, Government of India, and we have with our keynote speaker or expert in our panel, Mrs. Pooja Vishal Maulikar. I would just brief her profile so that the participants will get know about her. She is working as central government office under the Patent Office, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and presently working as examiner of patents and designs Group A gazetted officer. She is examining the national and international patent applications from Indian Patent Office, Mumbai. She has done Bachelor of Technology in Industrial Biotechnology and Masters of Engineering in Biochemical Engineering and Biotechnology. She has been the faculty for various intellectual property training programs at RG and IIPM, Nagpur. She has been a part of various judicial, national, and international training programs regarding IPR practices. Previously, she has worked as Department of Biotechnology, Manit, Bhopal, and Department of Food Technology, Shivaji University, Kolhapur. She has also worked at RGNI IPM Nagpur as Drawing and Dispersing Officer, Central Public Information Officer, RGNI IPM Nagpur, and currently she is an examiner of patents and designs, Group A gazetted officer. So with this short introduction, now I would like to request respected Dean Sir, Dr. K.G. Patel Sir, to introduce, to say a few words at the inaugural function of this workshop. Dean Sir, please.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Again, good morning, everyone. Today is the day for the online workshop on intellectual property rights and patents and design fields. So actually, this workshop is jointly organized by the College of Agriculture, Para University, and in association with Rajiv National Institute of Intellectual Property Management, Government of India, Nagpur. So this is the very right time. That the topic is very relevant and for the present need. And again, I congratulate to the Dr. Kubale that he has chosen the topic very right way, and he has the speaker, Mr. Pooja Vaisal Molikar. She is a very scientist, very good. She possesses very good knowledge regarding IPR. So I think this will be a very the fruitful webinar, that online workshops. So I congratulate all the fellow participants, students, faculty members, and stakeholders that you have a right opportunity to interact with the scientists regarding the knowledge of the IPR, because the in present current scenario of the global, because the IPR knowledge is very important. Intellectual property is an important things, because nowadays it is very important tool. The risk of the innovation getting infringed without the knowledge of the inventor stands very high, because with the increase in the importance of IP, instances of IP crimes have become the part of and parcel of the digital era, sometimes even leading to failure of the business. So now there is a need across the world that there is a dissemination of the knowledge regarding IP, IPR, the patents and designing like that. So to create the awareness, dissemination of the knowledge, these types of workshops are very important, because in the every business there is a need of the patenting. So a patent is used to prohibit the use of selling by another party for a defined period of time or original production. In brief, sovereign authority award the inventor of IP rights after an examination of the eligibility. Now, copyright is also very important, because it is a right that protects tangible form of expression like book. In trademark is also very important for the in both the ways. It refers to protection of the logo or design that an individual or company uses, and distinguished logo or design help the customers to connect with the brand values and thereby ensure trust on goods and services. So these three important part of the intellectual property rights are very important. And regarding the benefits of IP rights in the current times, they are also very important, because innovative ideas means to earn the profit. Because every inventor have used their brains, and they have a right to protect their patents, and ideas have little to no worth of their own. Ideas get untapped potential to turn innovation into product and services which are commercially viable. And it is also create the opportunity in export business opportunities, because the productivity of a company in the export market is also improved by intellectual property. And IP right holder may use these logos or designs to sell products and service in the foreign country. So globally, the intellectual property right create a very great dimensions for the business across the world. So to encourage the ideas by securing them. So there is also need to security of that innovative ideas, and therefore the IPR is necessary. Even government of India has imposed a number of the laws from 1970 to right now, and there are a number of amendments also made to make it feasible or make it practical way, and encourage the ideas by securing them is also very important. And now, if any country there is a need of this knowledge of the IPR, patenting and designing, so that country can develop all the way without the knowledge and without the proper augmentation of these things, the business cannot be sustained. So it is very so this era. All the student, faculty members, stakeholders, those who are involved in this in the field of the business, they should have a knowledge regarding this. So I think these types of workshop will be very useful for all the stakeholders for the more sustainability or more the profit or more the revenue generation in the business. So with this word, again I congratulate Dr. Nitin Ubale and also Mrs. Pooja Molikar. So again, I request all the participants to interact with this speaker to make this workshop fruitful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, respected Dean sir, for your nice introduction and giving a brief background about the organizing such a IPR workshop in the changing scenario of the globalization. Now it's time to listen our respected speaker of the today's workshop. So I request Mr. Pooja Molikar ma'am to share her thoughts regarding the.
Thank you so much, sir, for the invitation. First of all, you considering this topic to be important and organizing a workshop for the same is highly appreciated, and I am really thankful for the invitation given to us to deliver a talk on this topic. As sir has already said in the opening remarks that IPs are of global importance. There is a lot of significance related to IPs, not only individually, but when you look at it from the broader perspective, you would realize that IPs are playing big role in our lives, in our day-to-day activities. It is really important. So IPs, I hope all of you would have heard about some or the other type of intellectual property sometime in your life. But then uh, there are people who do come up with different sort of IP related stuff. Whatever may be the reason, but people do not end up getting its protection. There are certain formal reasons also wherein we are more inclined towards publication and writing your documentation and submitting it in a particular format. But we never give it a primary thought to protect our work in a particular direction so that it can fetch us not only recognition but we can contribute towards the national growth and development as well. Now, when people feel that, see, during your academic life and your professional life, you're coming up with different type of IP related stuff. It is very important that you protect it so that it will not only give you recognition, but again, it will inspire others to come up with more improvement. Eventually, we are reflecting towards the socio-economic development of the country as well. Now, when we are utilizing the basic facilities provided to us, it is our moral and ethical responsibility as well to protect our work. Now, do not feel that if I do not get my work protected, it is not going to cause any harm. Of course, it does. It does not help our country to grow in a proper direction, and that is where, in case we feel that our country's dependency on other external sources is to be reduced, and we can be self-reliant, we have to come up with IP protection. So without wasting much time, let me share my screen first of all so that the presentation becomes visible. Okay. At this onset, it is my request to all of the participants to please keep themselves muted so that we can utilize the time allotted to us efficiently and we can discuss about the topic and its insights. I welcome all the people present here, respected deans, sir, the faculties, the participants. With your due permission, I would like to begin with the presentation officially. So we are going to deal with intellectual property rights in this 1 hour, and since we are talking about it in an academic setup, it is important to discuss patents and design process in a more detailed manner. So basically, like there are different types of IPs, patents, designs, trademarks, GIs, all are significant. We should have basic understanding of the topic. Now, as already introduced during the opening remarks, my name is Pooja Maulikar. I am working as the examiner of patents and designs at Rajiv Gandhi National Institute of Intellectual Property Management. Now, in case you want to have any of the official communication related to the trainings being conducted by the organization, or you want to have any of the free workshop, association, collaboration, customized training program, MOU, you may definitely write to us at rgniipm.ipo@nic.in. And our official website is ipindia.gov.in, wherein you'll find more information about IP system. Before we begin, let me clarify that this workshop is intending to give an introductory talk on the topic. So the basic intention is to make the topic be really clear to the audience. But there are different acts and rules also involved in different IPs. We are not going to discuss it right now, all because we do not want to complicate anything. The intention is to let people be clearly understanding the topic. But whenever you gain enough knowledge about IPs, it is highly suggested that you refer to the acts and rules for further information on the topic and on that particular IP. And this will give you a proper direction in which you should be proceeding forward to protect your work. Now, to keep everything simple enough, clear enough, and not to complicate anything, none of the sections, rules, and legalities are mentioned in the slides. We are also available at different social medias like Facebook and Twitter. The intention is to reach maximum number of people and to create awareness and inform them that the organization does exist and it is working towards training of IPs. There are many who do not even know what IPs are, or there is any training institute existing as such. So the intention was to maintain utmost level of transparency to let people know about our working pattern and how they can be benefited from the training. So in case you're interested, you may follow us here to know about our future endeavors and upcoming trainings. And you may also, like spread the news among your other circles, like family circle, friend circle, so that in case they are interested and they're looking for an authentic place where training could be done, they can reach us easily. This is our official structure. We are basically coming under Ministry of Commerce and Industry, where there is a department for promotion of industry and internal trade. This department is having Office of Controller General of Patents, Design, Trademarks, popularly called as Office of CGPDTM in short, under which there are different subordinate offices which are functioning. To begin with, we are having a training institute named as Rajiv Gandhi National Institute of Intellectual Property Management. This is centrally located at Nagpur. We are indulged into a lot of training related to IPs. In the same campus, we are having PIS, which stands for Patent Information System. So this office is providing paid service to all the people who are looking for specific information related to their inventions. Now, this was more popular during the times when information was not easily available. Right now, because of technological development and because of internet connectivity, we are having access to a lot of information, which wasn't the scenario sometime back. Next, we are having patents and design offices, which are located at 4 locations in our country. That is Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, and Kolkata. So, if you divide our country's geography into various zones like east, west, north, south zone, you will see that we are basically having one office in each zone. People residing in a particular geographical zone have to file their patents and designs application only in the office available in their zone. So it is very important that applications should be suitably be filed. Regarding designs, it is specific to mention here that every time you will be getting design reports and all the proceedings regarding a design application is eventually happening from Kolkata office. Next, we are having trademark registries, which are located at Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, and Ahmedabad. Apart from this, we are having Geographical Indications Registry, located at Chennai. We again have Semiconductor Integrated Circuit Layout Design Registry, located at Delhi. And apart from this, we are having lastly Copyright Registry, again located at Delhi itself. So these are the only locations where these IP offices are functioning, and we do not have any regional office or a local office in every zone or in every state or etc. Okay, so these are the only offices available with IP India. This is the pictorial view of our official buildings located at Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, and Kolkata. And this is the building of RG and IPM Nagpur, which is an international level IPR training center. Before pandemic, all the trainings were happening in a physical manner only in this building. Right now also the workshop is conducted from here. I am seated here in this building right now. So this building is having all the facilities required for smoothful conduction of trainings. We are having good established classrooms, having all facilities required for projection and mics and rest of things. It is fully equipped. We are having good laboratories, computer laboratories, wherein good computer labs are, computer systems are available with good internet connectivity, so that practical hands-on sessions could be conducted on various topics. Apart from this, we are having a good supported library, wherein a lot of IP related content is also available. Basically, all the physical trainings start at 10 a.m. in the morning and it extends up to 6 p.m. in the evening. So during this course of time, we normally, we provide all the facilities to the participants who enroll here. So we look after the reading and writing material, food, tea breaks, etc., so that you do not face any problem during the trainings. Now, with this pandemic, we did shift our attention towards virtual trainings as well to keep the learning aspect unaffected. So, either ways, we conduct right from 1 hour of training pre-workshop to about 2 weeks of advanced level training is the maximum duration of training which we conduct regarding various topics of IPs. And all the trainings are certificate-based training programs. We again have association and collaborations with various international bodies for international training to be conducted for our internal officers as well as for the general public. So the famous international training program is WIPO India Summer School, conducted for the general public annually once. So WIPO is basically stands for World Intellectual Property Organization, which is headquartered at Geneva, Switzerland. They conduct summer school with India once in a year, and any individual after meeting the basic requirement of the training can get the training done. This is our official website ipindia.gov.in, wherein when you enter into the page, it looks like this, having different tabs for different IPs like patents, designs, trademarks, GIs, RG, and IPA. When you scroll further, there are different information available with different IPs. So individually, their forms and pieces and frequently asked questions, etc., are mentioned. We are having a lot of resources, acts and rules individually for different IPs are provided. Manuals and guidelines for easy understanding and more elaborate understanding of acts and rules is provided. We are having e-filing facility in case you want to search how far your work is protectable. That can be searched in this public search platform which is provided. Different resources in the form of journals, annual reports, newsletters are also provided, which gives you a lot of information about how the IP system is working. External link to other offices like Copyright Office, Semiconductor Integrated Circuit Layout Design Registry, and International Search Academy. Everything is being provided. So there are different news and updates related to IPs which are provided in this uh, website itself. All the details related to notices, tenders, events are also reflected on the front page itself so that people get to know about the organization. Now, every year we celebrate World IP Day on April 26th, and this year the theme is IP and youth innovating for a better future. So, IPs and youth go hand in hand when we imagine about better future. So every century demands something. This present century is a century of knowledge. So if a nation is able to translate their knowledge into wealth, it can definitely help us to achieve social goodness through IPs. Now there is a need to focus on creation and processing of knowledge so that IPs is of much more significance when it is created, and it is given a lot of importance in today's world of knowledge. When we imagine about national development, national growth, and it is an aim, definitely education system is believed to be the most influential system for the same, which can bring in a lot of changes. So different standards and methods if utilized during school level, higher education level, during our professional level. Of course, we may come up with skill improvement, and this will eventually reflect towards the national growth. Now, students, when they get their work protected, they are basically safeguarding their creations, and it helps people to, get a lot of value added to their profile. It differentiates them from the mob. It also helps them to, come up with uh, good opportunities if they want to study in top universities in the world. In job interviews also, such people are given a lot of weightage. They also get more weightage during their career prospect. If your IP is doing really good, you may also aspire to become young business owner, and eventually revenue is generated. So this is also a good benefit of IP getting protected. The schools, colleges, when they get their work protected, they are basically uh, it enhances their reputation, and it helps them to have collaborative opportunity with with the various foreign institutions, wherein different channels for doing internship to exchange resources with among the organizations uh, is getting open. Now, industry academia relationship is also very important to be considered. So, academic setup having a lot of resources in the form of information available in libraries, equipments, and apparatus, materials available in various, you know, laboratories which are being provided to the students, and of course the highly skilled and highly experienced faculty. With a combination of all this, of course, real-time problems can be solved, and if that is happening, it is a win-win situation for the industry, academia, and also for the inventors, because when the revenue gets generated, it gets divided among all of them as per the IP policy. Now, whenever we hear this term intellectual property, it is basically having two individual terms, intellectual and property. Property, obviously, what comes to our mind for the first time is something which is tangible, what we can see, touch, feel, evaluate in terms of money. So, something which can be measured in some parameters is called as tangible property. It may be movable, it may be immovable based on the characteristics of that property. But as this is a century of knowledge, here knowledge plays a big role, and this helps in coming up with different, uh, you know, uh, different things which can have importance and which can help the lifestyle to become really more better in various manners. So we are having a brain which is having capacity to think based on the knowledge known to the brain, the conditioning done on the brain, and based on the experiences which we have come across. So based on all this thing, we are capable to think about a solution to existing problems. And this is basically raw in nature. When we talk about ideas and expressions, they are raw in nature, and there are various other things also involved in it. You need to provide it with various resources in the form of information, labor, time, energy. etc. So that, hello, yes, who's this?
Hello, ma'am. Unmute yourself, ma'am. Unmute yourself, ma'am, please. Hello. Hello, ma'am. Please unmute yourself, ma'am. Hello. Hello, ma'am. Please unmute yourself. Hello, ma'am. Please unmute yourself.
हेलो, हाँ, एक मिनट है ना, तो आई हैव टू रिपीट, ठीक है सर, हाँ. So as I was saying that invention is all about any uh, product or process which is either new or at least inventive in nature. That is, it should be a betterment over the product and process already known. And most importantly, it should be industrially applicable as well. So if all these things are satisfied, we call it as invention, and inventions are patentable. So whenever you carry out any research or project, you are basically trying to identify some problem, you're trying to solve those problems. If the solution is unique enough, you may apply a patent for the same. Okay? So I would like to give you a few examples from our day-to-day life so that you become comfortable with the term. Basically, IPs is all about uh, uh, different things which you are using on a regular basis, but somehow we do not we do not look at it from that perspective, and that is why we try feeling that or believing that IPs is difficult, but it isn't so. You are having a lot of uh, literally you are surrounded with IPs. So it is not only related to complex stuff, but it is related to our day-to-day, utility stuff as well. So this is one such example. I hope you must be familiar with this. This is paperclip. It was invented in the year 1900 by Johann Waller at Norway. So the intention was to have a method of preserving papers where piercing of papers is not involved. So paperclip was invented eventually, and it is nothing but a tiny it is nothing but a single wire which is twisted and turned in such a manner that it can hold papers together. Ballpoint pen with which you write regularly is also one of the example of patented invention. It was invented by John Blood in the year 1888, and there are different versions of pen which mankind did witness. But then, slowly and gradually, every time we tried to have an improvement. Initially, our ancestors were writing with quill dipped in ink. Slowly and gradually, we did come up with ink pen, fountain pen, gel pen, etc. But ballpoint pen is having a unique technology. If you look at it carefully, it is having a tiny ball at the end of the tip which rotates, and it is so carefully placed that it is neither too tight nor too loose, and it gives a good writing experience. Probably this is the one of the most famous patented invention known to mankind, electric light bulb, which was invented by Thomas Alva Edison in the year 1878. And telephone, whose smartest version is already there in our hands, was first invented and patented by Alexander Graham Bell in the year 1876. So when IPs are combined together, you can definitely come up with different miraculous or unimaginable products. This is one such example. When the company wanted to have a vehicle in a cost of 1 lakh rupees, obviously the company wanted to reduce the cost. So they have reduced most of the luxuries from the car, like there was no radio, AC, passenger side mirror, or wipers were being customized, and a lot of customization was also being done. But the company did require 31 designs and 37 technology patents to combine it in a particular manner and bring it into the final form. So it is advisable on the part of IP office that you never disclose your work in the public domain before you go for patent filing. So disclosure in the form of publication, usage, etc. is normally not advisable. And most importantly, your work should be fully developed before you go for patent filing. Next is designs, which is all about the external look of the product. Now, the external look may be anything, right from shape, configuration, pattern, ornamentation, composition of lines, colors, combinations, etc., which can be applied in either 2D or in 3D form, or in both the forms it can be applied. So the basic purpose of design is to make the product look appealable to eye and to beautify the product so that it can attract customers. So it is basically provided for 10 years initially if protected, and you may get it extended for 5 more years if you feel so. Unique design will definitely add value to the product, and it will give you fair return over the investment you're doing on the product. It also helps in creating fair and healthy competition in the market. A lot of small business owners and startups are doing really good on the basis of IPs and particularly designs, which is either applied on the article or utilized for packaging, etc. Next is trademark, which is all about brand name. Now, this brand name, that is a trademark, is nothing but a visual symbol in the form of word, name, symbol, brand, numerical, combination of colors, etc., which can indicate the source of the good. So basically, to distinguish your product from rest of the products, you need to give a name to the product. And if you get it registered, finally, when the grant is given, You can write R encircled in front of the trademark, reflecting that it is a registered mark. Once registered, it is valid for 10 years and you may get it renewed in every 10 years. There are different types of trademarks. I hope you would have seen them. They are also available in India. Some of them are word mark, pictorial mark, letter mark, combination mark, logos, etc. Next is geographical indication, all about the place names which become famous with respect to any product either made or grown in that location, having unique originality, quality, reputation, or any other characteristics. So products like Darjeeling tea, Kanjipuram silk saree, Kolhapuri chappal, Agra ka petha, etc. are some of the examples. So initially, but then this is not an individual right. The organization behind making or growing of such products, that organization is allowed to file a GI application. And once granted, this is valid for 10 years initially, and in every 10 years it can be uh, registered. Renewed, sorry. Now, lastly, copyright is one such IP which is really famous in the fall because it is related to, literary, artistic, aesthetic, and cinematographic work, etc. So, it is related to books, music, software, painting, movies, etc. Now, life of the author plus 60 years is the time period for protection of this uh, work. Now, whichever product you pick, you will find different types of IPs therein. So, the constructional feature is basically getting considered into patented right. The name under which it is being sold is can be registered under trademark, and the external look of the product can be registered under design, and the catalog, booklet, or the instruction manual which you get with any new purchased article is coming under the purview of copyright. For filing of patents and design application in India, we allow four categories. Uh, Basically, first is the natural person category, wherein individually or in group anybody can go for filing. And next is legal entity, wherein any entity legally established, which is either, uh, like it is a company, institute, R&D center, or a university. Basically, anything which is legally established can file under this category. And third is small entity, wherein small, micro, medium enterprises can file herein. And lastly, we also allow uh, startups to file their applications. Now, the way you write any project report, giving a suitable title to the project, then discuss aims and objectives. Akrala. You discuss aims and objectives. You also try to discuss the technical field, background art, discussing what was lacking there, what has inspired you to come up with this invention. Everything has been discussed in background art. And then you start disclosing materials, methods, result, analysis, etc. You can also take help of drawings, abstract, summary, etc. to explain the concept properly. But most importantly, you have to justify industrial applicability and the closing statements, that is, whatever uniqueness you have added to the invention that can be claimed, which will fetch you the patent rights. We are having 30 forms in patent office, but these are the 5 basic forms required for filing. First is form number 1, which is application form, wherein basic details of the application like name, address, title, etc. is to be declared. And secondly, your specification should be listed on form number 2. Foreign filing details are to be given on form number 3. And details of all the inventors need to be declared on form number 5. And you need to request for examination on form number 18. So these are the 5 basic forms required for patent filing in India. Now for basic online filing, we are having 1600 rupees fees for form number 1 for natural persons, startup, MSMEs, and for institutes. And for others category, it is 8,000 rupees. And basically, form number 2 is free of cost if filed within the prescribed limit, which is 30 pages and maximum 10 claims, which are free of cost. But the moment you exceed this limit, it is chargeable as per your category. And hard copy filing would cost you approximate additional 10% fees over the online filing fees. Because if it is filed in hard copy, we do require some efforts to be taken for, uh, you know, um to make it digital. Next is form number 18, wherein the fees is 20,000 rupees for others category and for rest it is 4,000 rupees. We have also started expedite examination, which is nothing but quick examination. Within a month, you get the examination report. Now, certain categories are only allowed to utilize this form with additional fees to be paid as per their category. So, either SME, startup, government organization, PCC application assigning India as ISA, or natural person category having one of the applicant as female can utilize this form. Early publication is also important for people who want to save 18 months required for, uh, you know, uh, uh, for the publication period. So, if you want to save 18 months of publication, you can file for early publication form number 9 by paying additional fees. Now, the procedure for grant is like basically when you go for filing, we digitalize the application, we screen and classify it, and we publish it after 18 months. A request for examination can be taken into consideration after publication only, and it is allotted for examination. Very formal and technical evaluation is done, and you might expect a first examination report to which you have to reply within 6 months. You may expect a second examination report or a hearing before the grant or refusal of the application. For filing, either physical or electronic filing can be opted. Physical filing would can be done at the office counter directly, or you may send your application through Indian Postal Service. For e-filing, you either require digital signature, wherein patent office accepts class 2 or class 3 digital signature, or you can also utilize e-signature as well. Now you have to go for registration at IP India's website, create a login ID password, and you have to fill all the details. And finally, you can submit your applications. Finally, you may submit your application by digitally signing or signing through e-Hastakshar or e-signature. Then lastly, you have to make online payment and eventually your e-receipt would be generated and your application gets submitted. When you get the grant, the patent certificate will look like this, having basic details of the application like date of filing, patent key, application number, title, etc. And design filing would require you to choose one of the classes from 32 classes laid down by the design office based on the nature and function of the article. So the list is really elaborate enough, already provided at IP India's website. The form is very easy enough. Form number 1 is to be filled, giving basic detail of the application like name, address, class number, title, etc. And the fees for filing is 1,000 rupees for natural persons, startups, and MSMEs. And for others, it is 4,000 rupees for online filing. You just have to upload the images of the article along with form number 1. In case you want to go for hard copy filing, form number 1 along with 2 set of representation of your images is to be submitted. Form is very easy and self-explanatory. Anybody can fill it with ease. And this is the sample as to how the representation sheet is to be submitted. So the image, describing the uniqueness of the image can be given as the representation sheet. Since it is all about the image which you submit, which will give you a grant for design, the quality of the image should be very clear. It should be clearly visible, the background should be clear enough, and Most importantly, if it is a drawing, its line, colors, combination should be clearly visible. In one single application, one single design is only allowed, though set of articles may have same design, like cup and saucer being a set, table and chair being a set, etc. But irrelevant items combined together having no relevance in between are not allowed for design registration. Hello? Yeah, it's a. Huh? नाही माझं वर्कशॉप चालू ते पाठव. Apart from this, variation in the set is also not allowed. So, like normally a pair of footwear comes up with one unit for left foot, the other one for right foot. If you, if you bring variation therein, and if you come up with three individual units for footwear, all of them having different design, color, shape, size, etc., that is not allowed under design registration. Apart from this, depiction of living or dead person is also not allowed under design registration. Under non-registerable design, all the things which can be considered under trademark and copyrights are not allowed. And the list of non-registerable designs include calendars, certificates, stamps, labels, greeting cards, maps, etc. So the criteria taken into consideration for design registration is basically the definition of article and design should be satisfactory enough. The work should be your original work, having no resemblance with the previously known work, and moreover, it should be new, novel. For the obvious reason, it shouldn't be obscene or scandalous. Most importantly, morality and security of India is given a lot of importance before giving a grant for design. So this is all from our side. In case you are having any doubts, you may definitely ask. And before that, in case you want to contact us further, you may write to us officially at rgniipm.ipo@nic.in, and our official website is ipindia.gov.in, wherein you will find a lot of information about IPs, and maximum of your doubts will be getting clarified on IP India's website itself. So thank you so much for the patient listening. Now, in case you are having any doubt or concern, you may please put your question in the chat box. And also, apart from this, I would like to share the feedback link as well in the chat box itself so that you can fill it. The details are to be filled without any mistake so that the same day gets reflected in your certificate as well. Yeah.
Any questions from the participants? Attendees, please. Just to have allow you. Akshay Kiran. Yes.
Hello. Good
Yes.
morning, ma'am.
Good morning, sir.
Ma'am, I am pursuing MSc Agronomy from Lovely Professional University, Jalandhar, Punjab.
Okay.
Presently, I have made a herbicide for a particular weed, Portulaca oleracea. For that, I have to do a patent on it. So, for what is the procedure regarding the patent for that herbicide?
This is what is the procedure, sir. Whatever I said in the slides, no, the basic forms which I have mentioned, form number 1, 2, 3, 5, and 18, that can be filled, and you have to pay the prescribed fees which was mentioned during the presentation, and your application may be registered. You may opt for online or offline filing as well.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Any other attendees who have questions? I have a question, ma'am. If we want to register any particular variety of a particular plant, for example, mango, then how we can go ahead with the, under which uh, IPR category we can file?
Sir, your doubt is not clear to me. Do you mind asking the question again? It wasn't audible to me properly.
Hello, is it audible, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
If I want to register a mango variety uh, under the IPR category, then how can I go ahead?
variety which is already available, which
No,
people
new one.
already new one. Okay, if it is an engineered product, of course, for that engineered version of your mango, of course, you can go for filing under patents. But then you have to give entire details of the sequence wherein engineering has been done and modification has been done. So we require the entire sequence to be provided, and then only the evaluator will evaluate the application.
Thank you. Just another participant wants to ask a question. Professor Harshvardhan Wag. Yes, sir, you may please ask. Yes, you can.
May I audible, ma'am?
Please be in the range.
Good. Thank you, madam. First of all, mine.
Sir, your voice is cracking, sir.
Particular area. Just 1 minute.
Professor Harshvardhan, sir, your voice is not audible. Could you post your question in the chat box, please? Any other questions from the attendees?
Ubale sir, may I audible now?
Yes, yes, you are audible. You can now ask.
Yeah, sorry for interruption. Madam, I would like to know that whether any model can be patented.
Model for what, sir? Like
Model in the sense, let's say that in social science or in statistical science, we used to develop the models like for the research purpose. So whether that can be patented?
No, sir, they are not patentable. They are protectable under copyright. So whatever is your output, that can be brought in the form of literary work, and that can be protected under copyright, sir.
Means we can have only the copyright protection. Yes, for that
Yes.
only model.
No invention, no, there is no output as to a product or process. Inventions are only considered into patents, sir. Wherein a proper output in the form of product or process is achieved, then we
Okay.
call it as an invention, and that invention only gets patented. Since this does not have any output which can be formed in a which can be concretely said
This
as a
is
product or process, no, it being a scheme or a model, so this will be considered into literary work under copyright.
okay. Fine, madam. Thank you, madam.
Yes, sir.
Any other attendees do have questions? Can you raise hand?
ठेवून जा, मी करते.
Anyone? Okay, Harshvardhan, please speak. Yes, I have allowed you to speak.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
I want to ask you one question regarding if a patent, if a technology is invented in another country, like let's say Australia or New Zealand, and we want to implement that technology here in India, and that technology is generally engineered product is generally registered or patented under WIPO. In
Right.
world. So, do we need to file that patent again here in Indian scenario to implement it, or we can eligible to use that patent which is filed in the WIPO, because India is also a country which comes under the WIPO's list. So, to utilize that technology or engineered products here or implement this technology here in India, do we need to separately file that patent here in India also, or what?
Sir, those who are the original applicants, they only have the right to file that application in whichever territory they feel so, which is a signatory of the PCT, Patent Cooperation Treaty, which you are talking about, right? So whoever are the signatories in that, there is a particular timeline within the applicant. If they feel so, they can go and do the filing. Others are not allowed to file it on their behalf. Okay, so only they can do so. If that is not been registered in India, you can freely utilize it. You can use it without their permission, but only utility is allowed. You cannot file their application under your name just because they haven't filed in India. Okay, so this is the distinction. Only the applicant is allowed to file it anywhere in the world, wherever they feel so, as per the treaty, whichever they are following. Secondly, if it is not been protected in a particular treaty, in a particular country, the citizens residing there can utilize it freely without the permission getting from the applicant.
Yes, yes. I'm asking that question in behalf of the person or the company who filed that patent under WIPO. And India is
That's
generally
what I'm
the
saying,
part
sir.
of WIPO.
From the date of priority, within 31 months, they have to file it in India as well. Okay, if they want the protection in India, if they feel that citizens of India should not utilize their invention without their permission, they have to file it. But then within 31 years, as per PCT treaty, we do not allow beyond 31 months. So within 31 months, if you feel your protection has to be valid in India as well, you have to file the application in India.
Okay, separately here in India. Okay,
Of course.
okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I have one question in the chat box received from one of the participants that life science students can do IPR training at RGNI IPM Nagpur physically.
Yes, of course. Anybody can do the training, sir. We do not have any age bar or educational background is not being considered. Anybody can do the training because this being a basic right, and in fact, your IP, even if you are from agricultural background or lifestyle background, that does not mean that you cannot file a application related to, let's say, robotic science or mechanical engineering or computer science. It is irrespective of your background. You can file it under any of the whichever is your product or process. You can go for filing. You can come for training at RG and IPM anytime, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. I hope we have taken all the questions. Now, on behalf of College of Agriculture, Power University, and with due permission of respected dean, sir, now I am going to put vote of thanks. Before that, all the attendees are requested that if you wish to receive the e-certificate, kindly fill up the feedback form given in the chat box. So, very nice session we have. Now I express my deep gratitude and thanks on behalf of our university to Mistress Pooja ma'am, RGNI IPM Nagpur, for sharing her thoughts and ideas and basic understanding regarding the intellectual property rights. No doubt, many of the graduate students, faculties also are in this field or academics or research since many years, but they are not very much aware about IPR. So in this scenario, we have organized this webinar and workshop, and really it is a fruitful outcome that we at least within an hour we got the basic understanding about IPR. So on behalf of our university, I express thanks to Arjana IPM and Pooja ma'am. Uh, Now it is my profound privilege to express deep gratitude to Dr. Devansh Patel, President of our university, Dr. Amit Ganatra sir, Provost or Vice Chancellor of our university, and as a head of the family and head of the institute, Dr. KG Patel sir, Dean Faculty of Agriculture, has always supported us to organize such activities to ignite the young minds, faculties, for the betterment of our nation. And last but not the least, all the attendees, faculties, students, and all the stakeholders, I thank on behalf of College of Agriculture, Parma University. Thank you, everyone. If anyone has questions, they can contact to the Arjana IPM on given website and email address. With these words, now with the permission of Dean sir and speaker of the today's session, I declare the session is over. Thank you once again, ma'am.
Thank you so much to all of the people who are present here. Of course, the organization, the dean, the faculties, the coordinators, importantly, everybody needs to be thanked for beautiful organization of the workshop, and of course to the participants as well, because they were really keen enough in listening the topic. So thank you so much for inviting us today. And I wish you all a very happy IP experience in future. Thank you so much.